What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you missed the last video, it's going to be linked down here, either down here or down here at the end of this video. All right, so in the last video, though, just a quick recap of what we did in the last video. We talked about making some final decisions and ending the procrastination process that a lot of us creative types go through with whatever our trip is, right? One of the things that I've been struggling with this song that I'm working on, which will be the first release out of this studio, it's been almost done for a minute. I've wanted to get some organ laid down. We got the organ recorded. I'm excited to show you some video from that. I'll talk about that in just a second. But so we wanted to get some organ recut, and I thought I might recut all the vocals, but I have decided not to do that. I asked a couple of good friends for some really honest feedback about what they felt about the vocals and if they would recut them if they were their vocals. And these are very skilled and talented musicians, and they all said the same thing. They felt like the vocals were cut good, that they were sang well, and that they would not re-record them. There's some editing that needs to be done that I have not done yet, so I'll get to doing that. And then there's a lot that I can do with these vocals in post and mix. So that is the plan. All right, and another thing, if you guys see something I'm doing, if I say something you're like, that is not true, I'm no expert here. I'm just playing one on YouTube. If you see something I'm doing, you're like, that is not the way to do this, and this is how you do it, drop me a comment, tell me what I'm doing wrong. There's no ego here. I don't think that I've got this all figured out, and I barely know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to get better. I'm committed to it. I want to share this whole journey with you guys, and hopefully I'll give you guys some tips to help you. You guys give me tips. We're going to keep getting better at this and putting out the best do-it-yourself music that you can. Thank you. Just wanted to say that. That's it. All right. Do you need a Hammond B3 organ to get good organ tracks on your music? You do not need a Hammond B3 organ to get decent organ. There are a lot of good plugins out there. The one that I'm using right now is just the one that comes with Pro Tools, the DB33, through an M Audio MIDI controller. There's nothing to it. There's no drawbars. There's a wheel for slow, fast, and break, and a volume that's very temperamental. You got to address that, but you know what? If you really come up with the right part and you know what you're doing, you can make anything sound great, make the organ parts sit where they need. And that's what we did here today. This is my buddy Jess Franklin from the Brantley Gilbert Band. He's the lead guitar player, monster guitar player, but he also is a ripping piano player. And I asked him to come lay down some organ tracks. We kind of brainstormed together and came up with this organ part, and I think it's great for this song. It lifts it just the way that I want. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. It's really sitting right there. I'm looking forward to really putting some work in on it in the mix process and just having it sit where it's just hovering and just kissing that mix. But don't overthink it. Listen to your melodies that you're hearing in your head. Sometimes just a one-note part is all you need in the background. I think we can all get in our own way sometimes. I definitely do, where I'm like, no, it's got to be laid down with this, and it's got to be done with such and such an amp, and they recorded the Eagles didn't record through a universal audio plug, and we're not the Eagles. I'm not the Eagles. And if the Eagles had access to all this gear that we have now, they'd probably be doing things differently. So use what you have access to and trust your ear.
That's the register. Just try chords and what it comes to instead of a lead lip.
Yeah, I think here.
That sounds good, man. Reminds me of Dire Straits a little bit.
Yeah.
Here comes all of the happy clovers. You know what I say.
Money for nothing.
What's the name of that song? That on the outside into the day, talking about
the boy goodbye.
to the wall. Walk
Walk
on by.
Walk. Is it Walk of Life?
Is that it? I don't know.
I think it's Walk of Life.
No, it's Walk On By. I've been singing it for years.
Oh, good. I'm not getting divorced yet.
I was going to say, dude, I know it's getting late.
No, we're good.
Don't fucking get yourself in trouble.
No, we're almost there. We're gonna finish this first. Sounds really good.
I love that part that, I mean, they almost could just sit under it. You can automate down where it's just sitting below the, you know what I mean? Where it's something that you feel more than you hear.
Yeah.
I'm digging what we're coming up with.
Oh yeah, you like that one? Yeah, I made that one up.
So now's not the time for giving in. I would say just hit it one more time and just hold that. And just kind of modulate that chord, because that may be how I take it out.
Right. Okay.
Like remove all the guitar bullshit, just have it kind of fade out on the
Hammond.
Yeah.
We won't tell anybody.
Make it feel a little bit like church at the end. Ready?
Yeah.
Doing it?
I'll let you fade it out.
Yeah. That works. No. Safe.
Jesus, I forgot about that little treat.
And man, I've never been so happy to be done and say, no matter what, I'm not going back to this. This is it. This is the song. Now let's prep it for mix and get this thing finished and put some ears on it. So I've got some editing to do. Like I said, there are things that need to be nudged and moved around and a lot of the stuff that goes on that I don't like doing, but you got to do it. So it's one of those things that I struggle with is when I hear it in the midst of recording, when it's not recorded perfectly and I'm in here by myself and I don't want to take 50 takes where I know that I can just fix this one little thing later. You move on and then you never really make time for the things that are already challenging for you, or I don't. So I am struggling with that, but I am going to spend a couple of hours. Hopefully it'll only take a couple of hours for me to really drill down and get things finessed in the place where they need to be. And then we'll start prepping for the mix. So getting organized, making sure the tracks are all labeled appropriately. It seems like I'm just getting gargle mouth sometimes when I'm talking. We want to make sure the tracks are labeled appropriately, want to make sure everything's routed appropriately, and get things set up so that when I start this mix process that I'm not having to stop and go back and figure out why this isn't connected to this and connected to this and connected to this. And another big reason is because when I finish my mix, I am going to print that mix and I'm going to let another good friend of mine who is an awesome mix engineer, producer, here locally in my neck of the woods in Athens, Georgia, take a listen to my mix and give me some critical feedback. I want him to grade it. I want him to score it and give me the nitty gritty. I don't want him, no kid gloves here. Tell me what is good about it, if there's anything good, and tell me what's bad about it so that I can learn and kind of make those corrections. And then I'm going to have him mix it. So I want to make sure that it's laid out so that it'll make it easy on him and he's not having to waste his time getting things where they need to be for a mix prep. All right, and that's what we're going to be doing with all these songs over the next year. I'm going to record a song right here in these rooms in this studio, and then I'm going to go through my mix process. I'm going to take it to someone, and it's going to be a different mix engineer each time, more than likely. And I'm going to have them grade my mix and give me some feedback on what they think's great and needs work within my mixes. And then we're going to go through what their process is and get their mix. And then we're going to release the songs. And then at the end of it, we're going to release the entire thing as a body of work. We'll call it an album. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but it's going to be called something. Because I like albums. I don't like this idea of just releasing singles forever and ever and ever. Now, I know that's the new way of getting your music out there, and particularly in the process of how you do things in a home studio, you're doing typically one song at a time. So I've just started 2 new songs, and I'm going to be working on 3 to 5 songs at a time, and we'll just flow through those, and hopefully we'll get in a rhythm where we're knocking these things out a couple weeks at a time. All right, folks, that's the video. Thank you guys so much for sticking it out to the end. Click the subscribe button, ring the bell, share this video if you think it's cool. Do all the things that you do for the other YouTube videos that you think are cool. I'm just getting started. I don't know what I'm doing here. Until next time, y'all keep being good to each other and keep doubling down on the things that you love in your life. Cheers.